It's happened to me several times that while watching a movie or a music clip, I find scenes with strange content, and no matter how many times I rewind it, I couldn't find an explanation. I thought I was the only one who noticed these things until I received hundreds of emails from you. Emails that revealed to me the strangest things that have happened in movies. Get ready because my subscribers have made surprising discoveries. Absolutely impossible things that happened in the most popular movies and music clips in the world. My name is Leonore Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present paranormal videos captured in films and music clips. Number 7. We begin this video with the strange scene that Jorge Alejandro Ortega, a faithful subscriber of the channel, sent to my email. In his message, he says that while watching the Netflix series called All of Us Are Dead, specifically in episode 5 of the first season, a sequence occurred, according to him, completely out of context. An odd occurrence where he claims a strange creature hits the glass. A creature that has nothing to do with what was happening in the movie at that time. Observe. In the middle of the scene, a strange lump can be seen in the window, a shadow that clearly does not fit the situation that was developing on screen. Personally, I think it is a bird. Watch the video in slow motion and tell me if it's shaped like a bird. And if it can be that size. Our subscriber thought it could be another zombie, but its shape is very mysterious. It doesn't seem to be a person. That ventures Jorge to theorize that perhaps something really creepy happened at this school, and perhaps the recording of the series disturbed the spirit that dwells here. Could it be that? Or is it really just a bird? As always, you be the judge. Number 6. The following video corresponds to a musical clip by an urban singer in which they claim to observe the fainting of a man in the middle of filming. This clip has generated controversy on various social networks due to its authenticity. Therefore, I leave it to you to judge for yourself. Pay attention. What does it look like to you? Some say that it is just a person whose figure is lost behind a wall. However, upon analyzing it more closely, we realize that the subject begins to disappear before getting lost behind the wall. Do you notice that? It is something that is obviously beyond all logic. Could it be a spiritual entity, or simply a distortion in the image? Let me know your opinion. Number 5. In this position, we find ourselves with a strange event that occurred in a renowned soap opera, which, as incredible as it may seem, went practically unnoticed by the millions of viewers and fans of this production. An occurrence that no one investigated at the time, and that was immortalized in the scene that I will show you below. I ask you to pay close attention to see if you can notice it.
Doña Hilda Catalina ya llegó.
Sí, ya llegó. Nos vamos a estar al reino.
Did you see it? It was only fractions of a second. However, despite the short exposure time, you could see a strange whitish shadow that covered almost the entirety of the scene. What was that? I remind you that in general, the shots are captured in a controlled environment that makes it almost impossible for interruptions to occur during filming. However, this obvious fact practically ruins the scene. Any quality director would have asked for the scene to be recorded again, unless, of course, they did not do a quality review. This leads me to assume that incredibly it was not seen by anyone. Not even the cameraman, who is supposed to be the main person responsible for ensuring that each scene comes out as perfect as possible. What could that have been? Could it be then that it was not actually seen during filming? Unfortunately, no one from the production team ever referred to the subject, leaving this scene as testimony that something else was present at that moment. Number 4. Davian Gomez, a subscriber to the channel, declares himself a loyal follower of everything that has to do with Asian films and series, paying attention to each of the characters as well as each location where it is filmed. This is why, while doing this exercise, he came across a mysterious sequence while watching the movie The Depths, a film that, although it has a dark setting, what appeared on the screen had nothing to do with the plot. Pay attention and don't take your eyes off the bags that this man throws into the sea. Did you notice? A strange shadow begins to move across the ground until it disappears from the image. Our subscriber believes it is paranormal because it cannot be the shadow of a bird. It is too slow for it to be a shadow of a bird in flight. Furthermore, this scene was recorded on a cloudy day. The sun was hidden, which is why it is impossible for any shadow to have been cast at the time. However, for me, I think it is one of the bags that had nothing inside and it flies off with the wind, but its movement is curious. What are your theories? Number 3. There are many who today are dedicated to searching for and discovering continuity errors in newly released films to expose them. However, there are also those who, when watching old movies, have come across quite strange scenes that for others go completely unnoticed. Such is the case of Francisco Palomino, a subscriber of the channel who, while watching the action movie Tango and Cash, starring the renowned actor Sylvester Stallone, encountered a subtle but at the same time mysterious situation. Observe.
Si revisaras tu correspondencia.
Bueno, en defensa de Tango ha estado en prisión. Estaba bajo tu derecho.
As can be seen in the image, no one from the production can be seen who entered the scene by mistake. For Francisco, that shadow does not match that of a person, and it doesn't even match anything known. For me, maybe it could be a dog. Look at the scene again with brightness and contrast correction, and tell me what you see. What is that projecting? It is a question that after so many years since the release of this film is practically impossible to answer. Number 2. Like the previous subscriber, Joey is also a regular follower who declares himself a fan of 80s and 90s movies. His hobby has led him to discover unusual and disturbing situations in scenes that have nothing to do with the original plot. One of the strangest, according to him, occurred in the movie Young Again, starring and at the time emerging Keanu Reeves. In one of the shots, the actor is seen accompanied by something that our subscriber cannot clearly define. Pay attention. In the sequence, you can see something looking out the window. Although this scene was recorded in a real location and not on a recording set, in general, the behind-the-scenes staff and possibly spectators must remain out of the camera's focus. However, they can still filter and peek in to see what's happening. So, is it a ghost? Or is it a person? Tell me what you think. Number 1. We conclude this video with a strange image that Mari Carmen, a regular subscriber, saw while watching the Netflix documentary miniseries Justice for Little Gabrielle. It was during the first chapter that the camera records what, according to her, is the presence of a disturbing face that can be seen behind the window. Observe. In the scene, you can clearly see what appears to be a pale and disturbing deformed face that seems to remain static looking towards the camera. A face that does not correspond to that of a person, and that apparently was not noticed by any of the staff in charge of this audiovisual production. Could it be real, or is it just an error of perception? Can you motivate yourself to give any rational explanation to this image? Let me know your opinion in the comments box, as this video has come to an end. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.